Whiteness, rooted in the cultural norms and values of white elites, leads to unequal opportunities and outcomes for people of color. It impacts people, including educational leaders, through ideological, institutional, interpersonal, and internalized oppressive actions that intersect to produce various harms. If left untreated, then whiteness will continue to dissuade educational leaders who are not at the intersection of affluent, white, male, and heterosexual. If left undefined, the overt and unknown harms of this wicked problem may never be acknowledged or understood. As a Black female researcher who studies whiteness, my experiences and cultural background do shape my perspectives. I recognize that I approach whiteness with insights shaped by my lived experiences and interpret data through my understanding of race relations. I am mindful of the power dynamics inherent in this position and the responsibilities that it entails. I am committed to continuous self-reflection, ensuring that my actions and decisions are inclusive and equitable. In relation to critical whiteness studies, I believe it acknowledges the interconnectedness with race, gender, class, nationality, and ethnicity in a way that no other crit theory does. My overarching research question is, how, if at all, does whiteness disrupt an educational leader's sense of identity, belonging, and the opportunity for upward mobility? The sub-questions: 1. Can community participatory action research on whiteness with educational leaders produce a comprehensive working definition of whiteness in education? And 2. How, if at all, does the intentional examination of whiteness with educational leaders foster anti-racist activism and understanding of equity within the participant? The theory of action is the practical application of critical whiteness studies, which examines the social construction of whiteness and its implications in society. Through education, it confronts and dismantles white supremacy and privilege. This multifaceted approach involves self-reflection, education, and dialogue to understand the impacts of whiteness. If educational leaders have critical conversations on whiteness, then those leaders will have increased knowledge about the harms of whiteness. And if those leaders have increased knowledge, then they may not perpetuate the oppressive harms of whiteness. And if they stop perpetuating the oppressive harms of whiteness, then the overall mental health of the community will improve. In addition to an increased sense of belonging, the employees of these leaders will notice increased environmental equity and a reduction in acts of racism. This research will use community participatory action research, an approach that is reflective, action-oriented, empowering, develops contextual understanding, and values diverse knowledge, including experiential, cultural, and academic. Within, the researcher and participants collaborate and offer their expertise throughout the process. The goal, to increase the body of knowledge and public awareness of whiteness. Then, apply the findings to social and political interventions that benefit the greater community. While the approach is the intervention, the action steps involve a pre- and post-assessment gathering demographic data on the participants and their understanding of whiteness, assessing change in understanding and the impacts of exposure to critical whiteness studies. There will also be surveys and content analysis to identify biases and provide guidance with positionality clarity. Participants will also complete 2 qualitative post-interviews, allowing for reflection on the experience. This study aims to include educational leaders of all races to fill a gap in critical whiteness studies research.